Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Beer Reviews. I look a bit like a sailor tonight, but please forgive me. It's coming up to the weekend. I really need a good de-stress and a good relax. So, I have a very, very, very awesome beer with me. You know I like my sours, and this is one of those beers that you just do not see too often these days. This is Cantillon, who, strangely enough, I seem to be trying quite a bit of. This is Iris. The reason why Iris is a bit unusual is because it's 100% malt. Sorry, 100% barley, I should say. And that's unusual because usually geuzes have a good percentage of wheat in them. Some of them are almost predominantly wheat, they're almost wheat beers. This one's 100% barley malt. It's aged for 2 years in oak casks. It's re-fermented in the bottle, and they use fresh hops in dry hopping as well, which is quite unusual because usually with lambics and geuzes you use aged hops because you don't particularly want the bitterness, you just want the preservative qualities of hops. You don't particularly want the flavour of the hops either. So Iris is a bit of an unusual one. You can see it's a rather large bottle, 750ml one, 6% as well. And what can I say, I really can't wait to tuck into it. This is one of those beers I wanted to get my hands on for ever and ever. Really like the geuzes, really like the lambics. I want to get a little bit more into them and try some different beers as well. So this one was bottled on the 19th of March 2013, and if you just give me 1 second, we shall see if we can't get it on open. So here we go, just pour it on out. Now I've got this one from Beermoth in Manchester, which is an absolutely awesome, I mean absolutely awesome beer shop. They just had a rack of geuzes, all aged perfectly, sat up so they're not on the cork and such and so forth. Had some really interesting ones. They had Saint-Gelois as well, and they also had Dry-Fontaine and a few other lambics too, but as such, because they're quite rare, they were quite heftily priced too, as I would expect. So I'll definitely have to go back, and I've got a friend in Manchester, hello Adam from Adam's Craft Beer Reviews, who might have to send me some more if I give him some money. Right, beer. Look at that colour. I don't know if it comes through on the camera very much, but this is a really deep burnt orange colour. Completely different from normal geuzes and lambics. They usually are a lot straw. They're very, very, very pale. There's got a lot more colour to it. It almost literally looks like a blood orange in terms of colour. It's very vibrant. It's quite unusual. I'll just hold it up to the light. God, it's really pretty in the glass. Nice little bit of head as well. It doesn't particularly, actually does lace really well actually, can you see? Lace is pretty good on the sides of the glass. Extremely pretty. Re-fermented in the bottle, so bottle conditioned, hence why it's cloudy, and I like the yeast or Brett or spontaneous fermented bacteria anyway, so that's not an issue. God, it looks brilliant. And I can tell you as well, it has a really pungent aroma because I can smell it already too. So let's go for a nose. Oh, it's really... It's got your typical funk smell in there. It has the lemony, barnyardy smell, but it's got like tangerine sweetness on it too. There's a real, when you breathe it all the way in, I'm honestly getting like the pithy sort of smell from a really sweet tangerine or satsuma. It almost juicy and sweet and very fruity, very citrusy, which is extremely unusual for beers of its style. Almost mimics the colour of it too. It looks quite orangey, it smells quite orangey, and lemony and funky too at the same time. So again, unusual. Oh, it's really making me salivate. I think this is going to be an extremely exciting beer, I have to be totally honest. I've heard good reviews of it from some of my friends as well, so hey ho, here we go. Cheers. Oh, it's bloody wonderful. It's really lovely. It's really lovely. Honestly is. It's so remarkable. Sorry, we'll start again. It's so remarkably smooth. It's like drinking velvet. It just, the flavours are so well blended and ooze one into another. It's like a big, chunky mouthfeel too, and the carbonation just fizzles so gently across the tongue. It's big, it's palatable, it's chewy. And I really mean it when I can say I taste this sweet, juicy. Again, I have to say it's like orangey flavour right on the side of the mouth, just somewhere between the bitter part and the sweet receptors. You just get this nice flush of flavour, and then the bitterness it's there, and the funk and the little bit of sound it just kind of encapsulates it all above the top. But it has this lovely underlying complexity. It's probably the best way to say it, because just this complex mix of flavours underneath it. Cantillon really are masters of this style. Every single one of these geuzes and lambics, or the Kriek that we tried, or Risa de Gamarinus, or the 100% geuze, one of any of their beers, they all taste so individual in flavour, yet use many of the same techniques as spontaneously fermented. Just slight differences in terms of ingredients. And this is no different, but this is just remarkable. I really, really like this beer. I really like sours, as you can probably tell, but this one is standing head and shoulders above. There's just something about it. This complexity, this sweetness, this extra little character that seems to have been gained. I guess maybe it's from the dry hopping with fresh hops as opposed to aged hops. Maybe it's 100% malt, but magnificent. It's really magnificent. I'd love to put into words. I will find a word to describe what sensation it gives, but blooming wonderful is probably a good one. It does have a nice little bit of warming too. Just the slightest touch. Pardon me. Slightest touch. Maybe it just adds in the body, but alcohol I can just about feel it. Just a tiny little warmth in the belly, and it's only 6%, so it isn't that strong. But I am glugging away at this. Having said that, at 6%, it's remarkably drinkable too. It could be a 3.2% Berliner Weisse for all I know, apart from the fact it's got some body to it. But yeah, this is absolutely blooming gorgeous. Please go out and try some of this stuff. I know some of my people I know aren't really into sours, and they've just kind of broken into the craft beer world. But when you bite the bullet, when you bite the sour, bitter, funky bullet, you cannot get away from them. They encapsulate you, because this is so unlike beer that you normally have. This isn't hoppy, this isn't malty, this is something else. So there you go, another brilliant one. 9.5 out of 10, easily, absolutely easily. This is right up there. This is absolutely right up there. Aged in oak barrels, is that the flavour? Now I've just thought about it. Aged in oak barrels, is that the sweetness? Is that perhaps some of the vanilla flavours coming through? Perhaps some... I don't think it's vanilla. But it's perhaps imparting some flavour from oak barrels, I guess, that's given it this extra edge. It really does remind me of tangerines and oranges. Just subtle, but there and present. That's the best way I can describe it. But damn, it's good. 9.5 out of 10. Please like, favourite, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think you've had. Cantillon's Iris, this magnificent beast of a sour beer. Absolutely lovely. And there you go. Until the next beer review. Cheers.